Hello and welcome back to the podcast. You're watching X Factor Kirat. My name is Kirat Riki. Welcome to the third episode of XFK. In the last episode, we talked about our first biggest asset in teenage life, that is time, and in this episode, we will be talking about our second biggest asset. So, what is our second biggest asset? It is our own mindset. You have probably heard about this quote that nothing can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, nothing can destroy a person, but its own mindset can. That is very well said, reference to this episode of X Factor Kirat. So today we would be talking about mindset. So what is mindset? I would just introduce mindset in a few words. That what is mindset? Mindset is basically a person's own thinking or a person's own ability to improve something. Likewise, what is the mindset is basically the mental attitude of a person. So to be precise, a mental attitude is a person's mindset, and mindset is of two types: fixed and growth. The growth mindset is only for growing. Likewise, I cannot stick with this single thing. We need to grow, and every teenage should have growth mindset, but sadly our Indian teenage have only a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset means that I have to only believe this whole thing which is in front of me, that is schooling. So a best example that I could give of a fixed mindset is that of schooling. So the schooling, I mean to say that school will only teach you how to get a job, and this is only the purpose of school, that how to get a job. School will teach you how to get a job, a salary, a paycheck, to be precise. For everything else you need to search out, you need to listen, you need to see different opportunities, you need to see and listen, grasp everything. You will only be taught about the rat race, which is only in front of teenage child. The rat race, I mean schooling by 18, then after that 18 to 20 to college, after that a secondary degree or a stable job, then marriage in 25 26, get a house on a loan, get out of a debt within 40s and 50s, invest in stock market for long term, and that's it. Till 65 you are dead. Likewise, average lifespan of a person is 65 to 70. So till 65 to 70, this is the rat race. This is the reality which is in front of a teenage child, and this is only the fixed mindset. And now we have to change this mindset from fixed to growth. And why this is only fixed mindset in the mainly teenagers? Let me just fix it with some clarifications of the history. See, this is also not taught in any of the textbook or the schooling text books which I have seen. Like that, this problem was arise from the British period, or before that even, when there were kings, there were maharajas, and there were kingdoms. So that time there was socially engineered schooling society. By what does that mean? That it tells people that you aren't good enough, that if you're doing another thing, if you're not going with the flow, if you're not going with the people, this is a socially engineered society tells about, that you are not confident enough. It lacks your confidence, it just demotivates you. You're not going towards going with the flow, or you are not going with the crowd, you are doing something else. That is the shift of mindset which we want nowadays, the shift of the mindset. That's why there is a difference between the 99% of the Indians and 1% of the Indians. That 1% of the Indians had shifted their mindset, and believe me, that 1% are earning more than collective 99%. That is the truth. That is the truth. That is the sad truth of our society. Never limit your mindset. From the Britishers also, and from the conquerors also, if they taught us to think beyond, then they will think that their kingdom or their hold on that province or any state would be loosen up if a person thinks beyond his abilities, if a person does beyond his ability. That's what Indian system was made up. Everybody had that same. Till 1990s, everybody had that same thinking, not going up with the flow. Because before that, there were very less exposure to the Americans, to the Western people who had already shifted their mindset. There was a change of mindset in the people. So never limit your ability or never limit your mindset. You could be the next billionaire in the country, or you could be the next youngest billionaire in the country, in your country or in India even. You could be. Never limit. Why you should limit your mindset? One more thing that is considered in society, that is FOMO, that is fear of missing out. This fear of missing out is mainly spoken or mainly seen in stock market. That means likewise the stock price is going higher and you buy at the highest price, likewise that your fear that you are missing out in buying the stock or getting some more profits. So that's another topic, FOMO in stock market. But basically the FOMO in teenage is also little bit inside them. That is caused due to social media. The social media, basically mainly Instagram and Facebook. Instagram and Facebook, in social media we can see their lives much better way in that, and that is a reality. Everybody knows that. Even a one person also, they will agree that a person will show their only good phases of life on social media or on Instagram. That will be like when they are partying, they are buying a new car, they are just making money out of they had nothing. But nobody will tell about their struggles, nobody will tell about their what we should think about that. That is the FOMO. The teenage FOMO is generated when they see their other teenage friends partying, buying new stuff. They are also they also have that feeling of missing out. That mindset should be changed. That mindset of jealousy, that mindset of FOMO should be changed. And the best mindset shift that any teen can have, that is risk taking mindset. Take risk in 20s, take risk in 18s, 20s, 21, 22, maximum in 25, because from 25 your risk taking ability will little bit decrease. That I talked in earlier podcast also, that risk taking ability of a person decreases from 25s and 30s. Yes, because in 25s, 30s you will have started some new job, you would have to start some earning money, you would have to support your family or your parents or anyone in the not to be specific. You will have surrounded by little bit boundaries in 25s and 30s. Likewise, if I would like to give an example, I would give that Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella of Microsoft, Sundar Pichai of Google, or Shantanu sir from Adobe, they also took the risk. They also took the risk of moving out of India, going to different countries and exploring new opportunities. That I am not telling you to just go out of the country and just go out of India, but that they take up the risk. Indian mindset will not be able to do this, because Indian mindset taught us to be in a limited manner. Because in basically the person who will tell us not to take risk will be born before 1990s, because before that there was no industrialization. When there was industrialization, many foreigners came into India, many new companies came into invest, many new products came to India, many new people came to India. There was a little bit generation shift from the 90s, that they talked to new people, they met new people, they met the people of new countries, they got new information about different countries. They got to know how their countries work, they got to know how their people think, they got to know about their mindset. that our education system bounded us. They got to know about their culture, they got to know about their risk takers, they got to know about their people earning millions of money. That was the mindset shift of Indians. Likewise, a person in the Indian category will only not allow you to take the risk because they will think that if I wasn't able to do this, then how come you be able to do this in such a tender age? In your teens, how would be able to do this if I wasn't able to do at my 30s or at my 40s or even at my 20s? How are you going to do this? In American, I'm not just putting out disadvantages of born in Indian society, but I'm just comparing it with the lives of Americas, because they got shift in their mindset at very early decades. Likewise, in 1910s, 20s and 30s, approximately at that time. But in India, the mindset shift came to in 1990s or in 2000s, where people met new country people, where people traveled to different countries. They got money in their hand, they got to spend more. That changed the mindset. Education is not particularly telling us about what we should do in life. That's the reality. You should always have a patient mindset. Even for a teenage life, in teenage you will always have an adrenaline rush that I want to get this thing within a day. Nothing can be achieved in a day. That is the reality of our society, that even anywhere in the world nothing can be achieved in a day. It takes a little bit time. You should give time. The time is the best healer. But nothing can be achieved in a single day. You should always have a patient mindset. A person in a stock market always get hit when he is having the greed in the mind that he will just earn money within a day. He will put up 10,000 in the market and he will just get 1 lakh rupees within that same day. That's not the game. And why would anybody be looking for a job? Have that patient mindset. Think patiently that how much time it should be done. Execute it. If you have anything in the mind, don't only think. You should execute it. Never ever do it on tomorrow. Never ever do it. Never leave things on tomorrow. I would give you an example, like me and my friend we were just making a plan in this 2020, likewise, that we would start meditating. So we first 10 days we were just like procrastinating that okay, it's just meditation, why would we need that? Positive atmosphere is always around, we don't need it right now. But when in the 11th day we started playing cricket and football, likewise outdoor sport, or we started doing cycling and likewise some outdoor sport, then we just got up very early. When we were meditating, we weren't able to get up at 6 a.m. even. But when the sound came of cricket, cycle, football, any other outdoor sport game, we just got up very early. Always do the things which you love. You will never ever procrastinate. You will never ever need a motivation to do that thing if you love that. If you would love, likewise, if I am making this podcast, I don't need any motivation to make this podcast really well. I have my education, I have the things which I got up, which I grasped from the different books and multiple sources. I don't need many motivation videos to do that. Yeah, that is a reality which should be changed in the mindset. Be simplified. Okay, I would just tell you a Warren Buffett strategy. If you want to be successful in a life, there's a mind shift change that I want. Likewise, note down a list of top 20 things which you want to do in your life as in a career sense. The main priorities, the main thing, the main money making or the main reputed things which you want, list them in top 10. If you note down all the 20 things which you want, take the top 5, cut the rest 15. That top 5 will be your priorities in your life. Never think of that 15. Do focus on only the top 5. You will get that 15 automatically. The 15 things you want will be there in top 5. And I bet you, if you would write each and everything which you want in the life, this will be the best way you could take. Don't, in teenage we would talk about discipline and everything, that disciplined mindset, like in schools we taught discipline, mindfulness or something I'm not against discipline, but I think that discipline should be where you are working. Likewise, if you're doing exam preparation, you should be disciplined on that, but otherwise don't be disciplined. Likewise, in discipline, I think that if you are disciplined, then you could be bound by some activities or something like that. You are just being focused on one thing only. But in teens, you don't have to focus on one thing. You don't have to take only a single stream. You should have different aspects in life. That's my perception, that don't be disciplined. Likewise, if you are choosing something, like I want to only do one thing, I want to only do this current activity, you should be disciplined to how to excel in this activity, not to choose in this activity. You should be culturally opened to different industries, and also you should be exposed to risk takers in India if you want to take big risk in life. In my opinion, you should never take a single opportunities as your final opportunity. You should have different paths. You should choose different paths. If you are in a extreme, likewise if you are doing engineering, you could start a business, or if you are in commerce, you could start another business or something sort of that. Likewise, I'm giving an example, like a non-medical student can shift into MBA or do something related to that. I'm saying this, you could take the risk in your 20s. So always you should be happy, you should always be calm, you should meditate, or if you should do mindfulness for at least 10 minutes, which will keep your mind a little bit stable. You would be able to take different activities and one time, I think, because it helped me also. Always be at your fresh pace, and always don't let the child inside you die. That I always say that, because you will enjoy every moment of your life. And a teenage is also not a place that you should only take risk and just careers only, but you should also enjoy. You should also like pictures, posts, everything should be done, and just live a great life ahead. A simple piece of advice to you. So thank you for watching this podcast. So you are watching X Factor Kirat. My name is Kirat Ricky, signing out.